Why is it that so many men spend their lives chasing women, only to watch them slowly drift away? Maybe you've lived this story before. You meet someone incredible. She's beautiful, charming, full of energy, and she seems genuinely interested. You feel that spark, and suddenly, she's all you think about. You start texting her constantly, planning creative dates, checking your phone every few minutes for her reply. But then something changes. Her messages become shorter. Her enthusiasm fades. The conversations feel one-sided. You find yourself working harder and harder, but getting less and less in return. Sound familiar? Here's the harsh truth most men don't want to hear. What feels like love and devotion to you often feels like pressure to her. What feels like consistency to you often reads as neediness. And what feels like you proving your worth often tells her that you don't believe in your worth to begin with. And here's the painful irony. The harder you chase, the faster she runs. But what if I told you that the solution isn't more effort? It's less. That the answer isn't to chase harder, but to stop chasing altogether. Today, I want to show you what actually makes a woman pursue you. Not manipulation, not fake confidence, not alpha male games, but a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and how you move through relationships. The chase trap. When you chase a woman, you're sending a powerful subconscious message with every text, every call, every, "Hey, just checking in." You're saying, "You're more valuable than me. I need your attention more than you need mine." And that instantly creates an imbalance. Relationships built on imbalance can survive for a while, but they can't thrive. Eventually, attraction withers, resentment grows, and both people feel trapped in a dynamic that doesn't serve them. Think about a time someone chased you. Maybe it felt flattering at first, all that attention, all that energy. But over time, didn't it start to feel heavy, claustrophobic, even unattractive? Because deep down we don't truly value what seems too easy to get. That's the paradox of pursuit. The more you chase, the less valuable you appear. The less valuable you appear, the less attraction she feels. The less attraction she feels, the harder you chase. And the harder you chase, the faster she disappears. It's a vicious loop, and the only way to break it is to stop seeking external validation and start building internal validation. The real reason you're chasing. Most men who chase women aren't really chasing the woman. They're chasing a feeling, the feeling of being wanted, the feeling of being enough, the feeling of finally being worthy. But here's the truth that changes everything. No woman, no relationship can give you self-worth. That's your job. That comes from within. When your validation starts coming from who you are, instead of who you're with, you become grounded, centered, calm. Your happiness no longer depends on her response time or her interest level. You become, in one word, magnetic. Think about the most attractive men you know. They're not always the best looking or the richest, but they have something powerful presence. They move through the world like men who already belong. They don't need approval because they've already approved of themselves. That's the kind of man women chase. The 3 pillars of unshakable attraction. So how do you become that man? It comes down to 3 pillars. 1. Building a life you love. 2. Establishing healthy boundaries. 3. Mastering the art of presence. Pillar 1. Build a life you love. The most attractive thing to a woman isn't your looks or your status, it's your passion for your own life. When you have goals that excite you, hobbies that light you up, and people who inspire you, you radiate purpose. You stop orbiting around women because you've built a life worth orbiting around. Ask yourself, if you weren't chasing anyone right now, what would you be doing with your time? What skills would you develop? What experiences would you chase for yourself? Now go do those things, not as a strategy to get her attention, but because this is your one precious life and it deserves to be lived fully. When you create a fulfilling life, attraction becomes effortless. You stop begging to be chosen and start inviting someone to join you on your journey. Pillar 2. Establish healthy boundaries. Men who chase often have weak boundaries. They tolerate poor communication, last-minute cancellations, or one-sided effort, all because they're afraid of losing the connection. But boundaries aren't about control. They're about self-respect. When you know what you will and won't accept, you communicate something powerful. I value myself. And paradoxically, that's when people start valuing you more. For example, if she takes days to reply, don't double text. Match her energy. If she cancels plans without explanation, don't rush to reschedule. Let her show interest next time. You're not punishing her. You're simply protecting your energy. When you enforce boundaries calmly, without anger or guilt, you create safety. Women don't want men they can control. They want men they can trust, men who know who they are and stand by it. Pillar 3. Master the art of presence. Presence is rare and rare things are valuable. In a world full of distraction, being fully present with someone is magnetic. When you're with her, be with her. No phone, no half attention, no agenda. Listen not just to respond, but to understand. But presence also means being fully engaged in your own life when she's not around. Most men who chase are always available, always waiting for the next text. But when you're truly present, in your work, your friendships, your passions, you naturally create space, and that space gives attraction room to breathe. It allows her to miss you, to wonder about you, to want your presence precisely because it isn't always guaranteed. The shift. When you live these 3 pillars, purpose, boundaries, and presence, the entire dynamic flips. You stop chasing, you stop performing, you simply exist as a man who knows his worth, and women notice. They sense your grounded confidence, they feel your peace, they experience what it's like to be with someone who doesn't need them, but genuinely chooses them. That's when the chase reverses. When you no longer chase love, love starts chasing you. Where you go from here? Take an honest look at your life. Are you fulfilled? Do you have clear boundaries? Are you truly present, or just distracted and waiting for validation? Then commit to one small shift this week. Pursue a forgotten goal. Wait an extra day before replying to that text. Put your phone away when you're with someone who matters. Small changes create massive transformations. Because the moment you stop chasing her and start building yourself, everything changes. This path isn't easy. You'll face doubt, temptation, and moments of loneliness. But it's worth it, because what you're building isn't just attraction, it's self-respect. And from that foundation, you won't just attract women, you'll attract the right woman. One who sees your value because you've already seen it yourself. So stop chasing. Start building. Be the man who doesn't wait to be chosen because he's already chosen himself. The chase is over. Your evolution begins.